John Adams once said, "All ages of the world have not produced a greater statesman and philosopher united than Cicero." But who was Cicero? How did he leave such an impact on one of our most important founding fathers? And what can we learn from this man? His story begins on January 3rd, 106 BCE. Born into a loving family, he was supported wholeheartedly through school, and his performance in early education earned him the opportunity to study as an apprentice to a friendly senator. However, the political situation in Rome was far from stable. In 88 BCE, a man named Sulla marched on Rome. Cicero, being the student of Sulla's political enemy and being friends with many others, had to flee Rome. While Cicero was away, the dictator Sulla partook in a reign of terror. He forced laws through violence, consolidated political power. Worst of all, he began what's now known as the proscriptions. It was a horrible practice. Political opponents to Sulla would have their names posted in the Roman Forum, and after this happened, they would be stripped of all legal protections. Anyone who killed someone whose name was posted would earn a portion of their wealth. The promise of wealth tore families and friends apart. Senatorial membership became dangerously low, and as many as 9,000 noblemen were killed. Just as Cicero came of age to start his career as a lawyer and a politician, a tragedy of unimaginable brutality occurred. The reign of Sulla instilled an ideology into Cicero, one which he held onto for the rest of his life, one that would get him killed, and one that would make him a legend in history. This ideology compared politics to music. There are many voices in a symphony: the noble, the poor, the rich, the soldiers, the conservatives, the reformers. Cicero knew that they all demanded different things. They all had needs and influences on politics, and without all their help they could not have a proper republic. He believed that despite their differences, a tune could be found which they could all sing. This harmony of dissidents is what he strove for. Armed with a strong ideology and a genius that would allow him to fight it alongside even the smartest of politicians, Cicero set off into the political world. However, with all the self-interested strategies, the division between the two main parties, Cicero found his fight to preserve the republic would be one that he must partake in alone. He worked as a forefront member of Roman politics until the consulship of Gaius Julius Caesar. Cicero watched this in horror. He was especially terrified when Caesar gave himself 3 provinces and a massive army for after his consulship. Caesar later used this army to conquer France, and on January 10th, 49 BCE, Julius Caesar used this army to cross the Rubicon River and march on Rome. Caesar took complete political power for a while, until on March 15th, 44 BCE, Gaius Julius Caesar was murdered in the Senate House. After killing Caesar, the assassin Brutus called to Cicero to restore the Republic. This call to action marked the beginning of Cicero's finest hour. The assassins had plans, but they did not hold up well in the end. Caesar was a tyrant, but he was beloved by the people of Rome. There were also powerful members of Caesar's faction on the move. Pro-Caesar and pro-assassin soldiers were in Rome. The public was anxious, and another civil war appeared to be on the horizon. Despite this, the two sides agreed to speak out their difference in a Senate meeting. But with all the Caesarian soldiers and anti-Caesarian mercenaries in Rome, debate was tenser than ever. Eventually an agreement was met, or was evaded. Cicero said, "I was not comfortable speaking my mind. Lepidus had his soldiers, and the conspirators had their mercenaries. I had nothing. I saw a chance at peace, and I took it." But the Caesarians did not honor their peace agreement. The leader, Mark Antony, organized riots and political murders. Civil war appeared to be imminent. Senators and the wealthy fled. The only people that were safe in Rome were those who followed Antony. Those around him advised Cicero to flee the city with him. Cicero had to deliberate long and hard over his decision, but eventually decided to risk his life and stay in Rome to fight in the Senate for the avoidance of another civil war. Not long later, the son of Caesar arrived in Rome. This meant that there were two claims to the heir of Caesar, and they started butting heads. Cicero detected a weakness in the Caesarian faction, and he pounced. Cicero became close to the son of Caesar named Octavian. He was an intelligent and reasonable man. Octavian even eventually started calling Cicero father as a sign of respect. By supporting Octavian, he managed to weaken the entire Caesarian faction, and in the process remove a dangerous man from the position of Caesarian faction's head. After a lot of political struggles, Antony made the fateful decision to take up a nearby army and march on Rome. But Cicero made a plan against this, and using political alliances and brilliant administration, defeated Antony. It was at this point, when Cicero was closest to victory, that Octavian, the man Cicero looked at like a son, backstabbed him. He marched on Rome with his own army and took the city. Cicero had a failsafe against even this. He called upon Brutus, the other leader of the assassination faction, to come back to Rome, defeat the armies of the Caesarian faction, and take back the Republic. But he never came. His own incompetence led him astray. The assassins lost, and while Cicero attempted to flee the city of Rome, he was captured. Mark Antony demanded his head, and Octavian, the man who called him father, did nothing to protect him. On December 7th, 43 BCE, Cicero was murdered. He was beheaded and had his hands displayed in the Forum as a warning to those who wrote speeches against the Caesarians. The Roman Republic died with him. Octavian, the man who betrayed Cicero, became Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. Marcus Tullius Cicero left an impact on the world of democracy far beyond what he could ever expect. His books inspired political philosophers up to 2,000 years after they were written, and the story of his life taught a lesson of perseverance and courage. The lesson that even if you fail while fighting to the end, you can make a positive difference on the world. Cicero's writings set an example for what a proper participant in democracy should look like. This person should think logically about what's good for their country before making a decision. This person should be able to compromise, and this person should put preserving their democracy above all else. And they should stick to what they believe in, even if it gets them killed. Cicero's life was so impactful to our founding fathers because of his perseverance, his intelligence, and his journey. He worked diligently and intelligently in the face of adversity. He fought against tyranny when faced with violence. And to the end, Cicero fought honorably for his republic. He earned the title of greatest statesman and philosopher in history through his words and his blood. The story of Marcus Tullius Cicero is more dramatic than many plays, more tragic than many movies. He had to watch his beloved republic fall as he desperately scrambled to gather the pieces time and time again. But as with all of us, his story did not end in his death. Cicero laid the foundation for our modern America, where France, the UK, Germany, Poland, Spain, Portugal, Japan, South Korea, Canada, and Mexico. The seed planted through Cicero's writing and fertilized with his body grew a massive tree that reaches every corner of the world. His republic died, but the ideals of Marcus Tullius Cicero will live forever.